You have Howard Schultz potentially running. President Trump was a business executive. So two questions. Is a business executive the right kind of person to be president? And what characteristics do you look for a president that you would support?
Well, I think a business executive can be the right person, but I don't think that because they're a business executive that you give them extra points. And number one, I want a president that wakes up every morning and realizes that the greatest threat to a country which has got all kinds of things going for it are weapons of mass destruction, and that we live in a world where people, organizations, and occasionally countries could have people that would like to wipe out a large percentage of the American people, or maybe other countries as well, and that you now have capabilities which I always thought, until recently, I classified as nuclear, chemical, and biological, but I think you have to add cyber now. You know, if you have some evil genius someplace that for crazy reasons, just like you know, happened with anthrax back, you know, who knows what motivates somebody that starts sending anthrax out in letters. And if you have somebody that thinks that it'd be great to send a false alarm to the Soviet, or to the Russians and to the U.S. that the other side was launching or something of the sort, you know, it's a very, very dangerous world. It's a wonderful world, but it has dangers now that started in August of 1945, and when Einstein said, you know, this changes everything in the world except how men think. And so I want a president that has that same filter, that all of these other things are important, but protecting the country and reducing the chance of successful use of weapons of mass destruction against us is the number one job. And I think most of the presidents, I've talked to a couple of them about it over the years, and I really think that they do realize that they may get lost in the events of every day as they go along. And then beyond that, I want a president that has two objectives with the economy. One is to make sure that this marvelous goose we have keeps laying more golden eggs. And then I want a president that also feels that if GDP is $60,000 per capita in the United States, that nobody should get left behind. We've got a market system that works marvelously in turning out more goods and services, better ones, year after year. Done it all through my life.
Would you ever talk to a candidate and say, hey, what do you think about these three things?
Well, they'll tell me what I want to hear in most cases. So I want to hear what they tell people who disagree with them on the subject. I always like to ask a candidate, they usually finesse me some way or another, but I say, what are you for that the majority of your followers are against? You know, I know you really believe in that, you know, and that's really the test, but I'm not sure that, except under some kind of sodium pentothal or something, you're going to get a great answer to that question.
That's great, but that's the question you ask the presidential candidates or presidents that you would speak to.
If I really want to get, and that's why Bernie Sanders was so successful. I mean, 90% of the people who voted for Bernie Sanders had probably not heard of him 2 years earlier, but they felt they knew exactly what he would do. I mean, they felt he was authentic. And if you asked him, you know, what he was for that most people might be against, he would tell you.